Hello friends, welcome to another episode of I Play Games and Film It, and indeed another episode of Free Thought Fridays. Welcome to the weekend. I hope you've had a good week, everyone. I hope it's been eventful, and I hope a lot of you have enjoyed GTA 5. I have. It's amazing. I'm not recording it for you. I promise I'm not going to. So, Free Thought Fridays this week. 5 ways Y.O.L.O can improve your life. Now, this might seem a little bit controversial because a lot of people don't like Y.O.L.O. Y.O.L.O is for douchebags and whores and sluts and all negative people. But I've taken it on a different context, and I'm sure some of you already have yourself. You just don't really kind of like the way that it's been treated. So honestly, the way I see Y.O.L.O is actually kind of upon a context that's void of any responsibility. It kind of takes away any any responsibility from your actions, because you've gone YOLO and therefore you're suddenly innocent upon any action that you take at all. It doesn't really matter that much. Now that can be used in a very good way. What I'm going to do is list them out for you now and then run through each and every one of them with you as I go. So, the first way YOLO can improve your life is with your money management. That's true. The second way YOLO can improve your life is with your partnerships. That's also true. It can also be used to improve your job and your general personal well-being. And finally, yes, it can indeed be used to make you happy. Now, me, I have an ambition. I have aspirations. They are generally to be happy. That is all I want. I don't want necessarily to have a lot of money. I don't necessarily want to have a family. I don't necessarily want to have a really nice car or a big house or anything, unless at some point I realise that those things are going to be a part of the package of happiness that I am building around me at the moment. That's how I'm using YOLO right now, because really what it helps for me is to design and devise my own personal happiness. Now, careful with where you're going with this one, because what it is more of a sense of using the term as a full statement. You only live once, which is what YOLO means. So you only live once. Now in that, you're kind of saying that after this life, there is nothing. There is nothing left. There's no other options. There's no other direction for you to go. There's no more time for you to make decisions and decide how you want to do things. That's it. It's over. It's done. Game over. Game end. Finished. No reset button. No going back to anything. That is it. So really, every decision you make now and the way you live your life now is pretty much kind of the ultimatum. It's all here. So that's how you can use YOLO, really. Now, if I can remember the order in which I put the list now, because it's all just come out, bleh. I'm going to start with, I believe it was money management. So basically, I know that money really, really does kind of take over a lot of what everyone does. Money makes a massive part, and it's got to this stage now, it's very cliche to say, that money now controls us. We've actually devised an inanimate object that seems to hold more value than our own thoughts and emotions and processes. It literally dictates how we do things. I mean, for example, I'll use this as an example for instance. Recently, people have noted that people can make a lot of money from YouTube. So, what happens is YouTube suddenly gets flooded with people wanting to make their own channels and put things together, and it would be naive and ignorant to assume that a lot of them aren't looking for a lot of money. It would be foolish to assume that. It's the same with a lot of industries. When anything suddenly shows that it's making a lot of money and it looks quite accessible to the general public, everyone will jump on that bandwagon. Everyone. I mean, it's the same with salesmen, I'd say. It's kind of a job that doesn't need a lot of qualifications. It doesn't need a lot of experience. It just needs you to know how to talk to people, know how to sell, which you can be trained for, and there can indeed be a lot of money in that. So that, again, it gets flooded. There's so many people who work in that industry, and it seems like easy money. Now, we don't really realise what we sacrifice to do these things, what we actually have to give up and what we actually have to do to earn the money. It just looks like the money just comes to us, and so we forget our own morals, we forget our own principles, we forget our own way of life, so that we can acquire that money. And that's how money controls us. It basically says, no, you can't do that because you don't earn any money through that. So why should you do that? Well, it makes me happy. Well, you don't earn any money through it, so don't do it. It's a lot of the way that people behave with it. Now, I think if we were to YOLO on money, I would actually say that we'd see a lot more people doing a lot more things that generally maybe don't earn a lot of money, but it certainly makes them happy. And ultimately, again, when you reach that end, when you reach your death, as it were, that money doesn't really mean a lot. It doesn't really go anywhere because you're not using it. It's not of any value anymore to you because you're dead. It doesn't matter anymore. So why the hell would you waste your time not being, say, completely happy with yourself and doing things you want to do something that will eventually mean on your deathbed, on your last breath, will mean absolutely nothing. It won't mean a damn thing. So that's why I think YOLO can help your money management in the sense that when you start to use that in a positive light and in a good way, you're no longer going to want to care that much about it, and you'll start being a little more responsible, or not responsible, a little more selfish in the way that you spend your time. It's happening a lot more now because of the options that are available to people, how they spend their time. But I still think there are some issues wherein people will do things with the intent simply to earn money, and I just think that's sad and very depressing because it shows no soul, it shows no passion, it shows very little enthusiasm in the matter. Money management, that's how YOLO can help it. YOLO all over that, definitely. The second one, I believe, was relationships. I think that was it. So again, I mean, this is another thing that bugs me, is the fact that I work in restaurants. I do see a lot of couples and a lot of relationships around me, even outside of restaurants, where you get the impression that these two people didn't get together out of love, out of the true sensation of lust or joy or love or passion or anything like that. More the case that even if they had when they started, it died out and it's gone now. And they don't live in it anymore. However, they feel obliged to stay together because that's what happens in relationships. You end up kind of settling and you feel comfortable, and either you don't want to get out of the relationship because you're scared that something might happen or that you'll be single and everyone will judge you for being single, or you just can't be bothered, or you've forgotten what it feels like to truly feel that kind of joy and love that you had when you first met. Now, it's probably naive for me to assume that should stay, but I have again seen examples of people who've been together for years and years, and they still cannot be separated. They can't stop loving each other the way they did, or probably were when they were going out, or when they started dating. And so there's an example there of how that is possible. Now, how YOLO can help here is literally putting into your mind when you're in a relationship, going, well, am I enjoying myself in this relationship now? What's going on? What's happening? Is this partner actually what I want? Are they actually what I love? Or have they changed? Have I changed? Have things changed? You know, and you use YOLO in that context to kind of go, well, you know what? Actually, I'm not happy. So why the hell should I suffer? And why should I waste my partner's time not being happy in this relationship, or my own time, when actually I could be with someone else and be happier? Now, I honestly will say right now that I have more respect for people who are in very long-term relationships and leave them purely because they don't feel the same way they did, than people who stay with their partner out of obligation, because I just think that is a massive waste of time. That is a huge waste of time. You're basically, again, at the ultimatum, on your deathbed, last breath, going, I could have been with someone else. That's not a regret that you really want on your deathbed. That's not something you want. So in that regard, I would say YOLO can be used in a sense to go, well, is this really how I want to live my life? Is this really the person I actually really want to be with right now? Because if not, then it's probably best that I move on, for my sake and for theirs, because eventually it will come out of my system that I don't love them in God knows what way, whether it's the time we spend together, whether it's just the things that I do we talk to each other, do we even hang out, or are we just bored and existing in each other's spaces? That's what's happening, because that's not a relationship, certainly not one I'd want to have anyway. So yeah, that's how YOLO can improve your relationships, definitely. Number three was it your own? Oh, it was your job. Yes, it was your job. Now, this again, is another thing wherein you have a job, and it probably is for the pursuit of money, going back to the first point, but I would say in this context, we're gearing more towards if you're spending a lot of your time at work, or at least the majority of you do. If you're not spending a lot of time at your job, fair play, I don't really know what to say to that. But we do. I mean, it's an average, for people who work 9 to 5s, it's 8 hours a day, maybe weekends as well. So you're racking up maybe 50 hours a week. And then, certainly for myself, it averages between 50, 60 hours a week. And the idea that that's the time you spend in your life, and you're in a job you don't like. So again, you have pretty much chosen to spend time 50 or 40 to 60 hours a week averages in a job that you're not really happy about, or at least certainly doesn't kind of instill any joy in you, that doesn't really engage you in any way. I mean, we're not talking about fun per se, but something that just makes you feel like your mind is rotting for that time every single day you're at work. And again, that is a long time we're talking about here. Now, this is where, again, I think Y.O.L.O can help quite a lot, because you go, right, so this is not what I really want to enjoy my life doing. This is not something that's really instilling any passion or any enthusiasm. I mean, this isn't dragging any kind of any enthusiasm out of my heart or my mind or anything. So what am I doing? What am I doing here? What am I doing is I'm going to work every day, and then as soon as I have time off, I'm getting drunk off my face just to forget that last week I have, so that I can then go into the next week of work and realise that I've got to do it all over again. And you get into this monotonous lifestyle of actually not really doing anything productive or doing anything you enjoy. Y.O.L.O in this regard, I'm sure you all know where I'm going, is to kind of find out what you actually enjoy in your time. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy talking to people? Do you enjoy, crunching numbers? Do you enjoy, I don't know, traveling a lot? Like, what do you enjoy? Because that's probably a job that's going to make you feel so much better about the fact that, you're doing something that is personally fun for you or personally engaging for you. You're learning or, building yourself in some way, and you're getting paid for it. There can't be really many better feelings than that, to know that your paycheck is coming in to you while you're enjoying yourself. I think a lot of people celebrate, getting paid to sit on the toilet for 15 minutes or however long you shit for. And that's the kind of, it's that same essence of kind of going, I'm getting paid for this is great. And then you have to go back to work and be like, oh, I'm getting paid for this. At least I'm getting paid for this. It's a terrible way of living. So yeah, if you Y.O.L.O all over your job, I reckon that a lot of people would find jobs they actually enjoyed and in jobs that they would want to do, and jobs that make them feel better. So that's number 3. Number 4, I'm struggling to make my fingers work. Number 4, that was your well-being, wasn't it? Yeah. I'll tell you a story about me now, and this is how I kind of went through the whole Y.O.L.O process myself, to be honest. So I used to play rugby quite a lot. I was quite a fit and healthy person, and I weighed about 15 and a half stone. Well, no, 16 to 15 and a half stone. And I don't know how much that it would be in kilograms, so I apologise to those people, or in pounds, but you do the math. And I exercised like 3 or 4 times a week. I was healthy, I was fit, and so on. I took a year out, went to Vancouver. I came back, and my lifestyle changed quite dramatically. And I sat around, I didn't do a lot. I suddenly found myself really bored, mildly depressed as well. And I ate, and I ate, and I ate. And I managed to balloon up to, how much was it now? 21 and a half stone, which I calculated was over 120 kilograms. Now I am 6'4". I don't know what that is in centimeters, but 6'4". So it might seem like, not that much for a guy my size. Rugby players weigh about that much, and they're about my size. However, that's muscle. I was fat, I was pure fat. I ballooned, and I reached a point where I just got sick of it. I got sick of not being able to put my socks on properly without grunting. I got sick of the heartburn I suffered all the time. I kind of got sick of having to buy a whole new wardrobe because I got so fat. I got so sick of not being able to buy the clothes I used to buy because I didn't fit in them anymore. I got sick of a lot of things. And instead of kind of sitting around moping about it, being all like, oh, I'm overweight, oh, this sucks, oh, my life is shit, blah, 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 I actually eventually Y.O.L.O'd all over my own fat. And I just got out and started exercising. I started running, I started eating less. I didn't know to go to the gym so much. I didn't really like the gym, but I did. I just started exercising, running, and so on. I just started taking better care of myself. And around that time, I'd also started drinking like healthy juices. I started drinking green tea, which I'm still drinking today. I just started making all these decisions that actually put me back to the weight that I originally was. Now, right now, I'm sitting around 16.5, but that's okay. But I'm now healthier. A lot better than I was before, and I genuinely feel a lot better for it. I can now look back on that moment and go, you know what, I took action on that, and it was kind of an essence of YOLOing all over that, because I was like, well, why should I stay fat? It's my responsibility. It's my fault I am fat, and it's my fault that I got myself to this level because I was having second courses upon second courses. So yeah, this is ultimately my fault. I should take responsibility for this. You know, I only live once, so I might as well do that. And I did, and I lost the weight, and it came off. Now, it did happen over time. At one point, I was running 9 miles a day with a backpack on. It was to and from work. So I ran 4.5 miles twice in one day, and I lost a whole load of weight then. And then I did a couple of half marathons, things like that. And I was running a lot, and it kind of, most of it fell off then. But if I hadn't taken that action, if I hadn't taken that mentality towards it, it would never have happened. And certainly it wouldn't have kind of snowballed into all of the other things that led to me being healthier or treating myself better. I'm still on a path of trying to treat myself better at the moment, but it's kind of a slow process. But again, that's another one that I think that's how you can YOLO all over your well-being and your health. And certainly ways to make you feel like you are genuinely taking care of yourself, which again will snowball into the way that you treat other things in life. Certainly, again, this is what I believe, because it's certainly something I've seen and what I've experienced as well. Your whole outlook can change and certainly become far more positive because of it. So number 5, the final thing. Now, this kind of overarches everything I've just said, but I will kind of go back to the small point I was making about how it is a case of you only live once. And there was a really good article that kind of opened my eyes to it all. And not YOLO as such, but certainly the aspects of it, you only live once. And it's a great article called 5 Regrets. Well, I can't remember what it's called now. It's 5 Regrets on a Deathbed or something like that. I've got it bookmarked somewhere. But it was 5 things, common things that people would say on their deathbed that they say they regretted about their life and how things had turned out. And they were indeed things like, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I paid more attention to my family and friends. I wish I had taken better care of myself. And I can't remember the other 2, but they were things that you kind of looked at and go, this is what people do all the time. And it was along those lines. And you just think, these people are dying. They haven't got long left. And they are still wishing that they had done the things that we all think that we do anyway. Things that we all believe that we would do as natural human beings. You know, take better care of our friends and family. Take better care of ourselves. Maybe have more fun in life. Maybe enjoy things a little bit more. Maybe think more about the actions we take. And YOLO can be used in this example. I'm not necessarily saying that you should all do it all the time. But I think it is something that actually can be taken quite seriously in the sense of, you know, in this one life that you have, in this one beautiful world that you're kind of living in and existing in, how have you chosen to live it? And how have you really chosen to spend your time? And it's not a case of judging anyone else for the way they choose to spend their time. As long as you know that that is genuinely a way they want to spend their time, then actually you should either envy them or feel proud of them, because they have taken on such a huge responsibility of themselves, which I don't think a lot of people do nowadays either, in terms of their own dreams, their own aspirations, their own desires, their own hobbies, their own kind of likes and dislikes and so on. And so the overarching idea is, just apply YOLO to life, really. And obviously there are good YOLOs and bad YOLOs, you know. But make sure that it's something that you kind of think, that's something I want to do. That's definitely something that I want to be part of. That's something I want to be. That's something, and you just go for it. Just absolutely go for it, because I mean that's what got me doing these videos. It's what got me you know, the relationship I'm in, the flat I'm in, and I couldn't be happy with all of that. I'm not saying that I was perfect, but it's certainly given me this opportunity to tunnel down to what I want out of life. And I'm actually a lot happier with less than I had in a sense, but it's all because I know exactly what I'm going for, which is personally my own goal, and I literally couldn't be happier about that. So really, overarching, we can use Y.O.L.O to benefit yourself. It's just the fact that it's got this horrible connotation on the back of it of idiots going, Y.O.L.O, I didn't use a condom, Y.O.L.O, looks like we have to get an abortion, Y.O.L.O, I OD'd on heroin. No, not at all. So yeah, guys, I hope that helps. Obviously, leave some comments in the boxes below, just to let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said, or if you agree with anything I said, or if you even have any personal experiences that you've gone through where you may have kind of YOLO'd on something, and it's actually come out really well for you, or if not, and maybe, you know, why. But yeah, no, discuss by all means. Let me know what you think. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment, subscribe, click the thumb button, share with a friend if you like, and I'll see you in another episode of I Play Games and Film It. Have a great weekend, people. Y.O.L.O all over the place. Y.O.L.O up the walls and to the windows. You guys take it easy. Bye-bye.